Okay. Next. Where do you live? Well, I'm not gonna say my exact location because I want to be anonymous, but I live in the San Francisco area, and I assume you know where that is. Um, there are there are some major well, not major, but there are a few railways that run through that area. There's this thing called Caltrain. It's just basically a commuter that goes from Gilroy to San Francisco, and then there's also the VTA light rail, which just goes through San Jose, which is another semi-big city by San Francisco. And then there's BART, which goes from East Bay to Oakland, and yeah, Oakland's another big city. Yeah, the whole Bay Area, it's formed up of three major cities. There's San Francisco, San Jose, and then Oakland. I live between San Jose and San Francisco, so on the west side. I won't say exactly where, but yeah. Yeah, and there's also the Roaring Camp Railway, which is up in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It's like the logging locos from Misty Island Rescue. So that special did bring some nostalgia of riding that, train. They have a Day Out with Thomas thing there. It's really short, though. Okay, but next question. Will Alfred ever appear again? This is interesting. I didn't expect Alfred to get so much, praise. At the moment, I don't know. I mean, the ghost thing at the end of Disgrace to the LNER, that was just some. I didn't intend to put that. I just decided to put that in as a little joke or something. I mean, I'm not saying he won't appear again. There's a possibility, but right now I don't have any plans for him to do so. I mean, maybe he'll appear in a Halloween special. I don't know. I mean, right now, I can understand why y'all like him because he's a cool character. But I think as for now, I don't have any plans for him. Yeah. Okay, next one. Why do I use Soda Island 3D's models as opposed to Wild Nor'Westers? Well, because I always preferred the TV series look. I mean, I grew up with the TV series. I do have the complete Railway series by Wilbert Audrey book, but I always prefer, the TV series look because, yeah, that's just what I grew up with, and, yeah, I'm more of a TV series person. And, I mean, I occasionally use Wild Nor'Westers models. Like, I will use his Skarloey models for if I ever make a Railway series book on the Skarloey Railway engines, but I've always preferred Soda Island 3D. And to be honest, I've had a lot of trouble with Wild Nor'Westers models, like getting them to work. They're always missing dependencies. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great models, but I've just always preferred the TV look. What is your advice to other Thomas series or, new people? Okay, what is your advice to other Thomas series? That's a difficult one. I mean, because every series is unique in its own way. I mean, mine. I guess my biggest advice would be just come up with a good story, an engaging story. It doesn't matter really the quality, of the filming or what you use. If it's a good story, that'll engage the audience. Yeah, that's my main advice. And yeah, I mean, I think trains is the cheapest way to do it without having to go buy any Thomas models or whatever. Uh, yeah, and also just be unique. I mean, yeah, this is a pretty hard question. I mean, just come up with interesting stories and you'll engage the audience. That's my main advice for you guys. So, yeah. Okay, next question. Will you ever make a movie? Trust me, I've been wanting to do a movie ever since, I was started this stuff. Stuff that's inspired me, like, I can't pronounce his name, but Tobias and the Half Pariah, and then also, there's also stuff like, Rails to Salvation, which is coming out soon from, I think it was The Scotsman Returns, I don't remember his name, but then also Enterprising Engine 93 is making one. Yeah, so I've always wanted to make a movie. Some of my I had planned to make one for December of 2015. it was supposed to be. It wasn't like Thomas and the Magic. Well, it was similar to Magic Railway, but it was like these two people. It was kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story. Like there was this engine who was built by this person, and it caused this whole family thing, and then Diesel 10 gets involved, and then the whole Sodor gets involved, and then there was also this engine was on this place called Little Sodor, which would be like wooden rail. So it'd be a combination of a wooden railway and trains. Trains would just be the normal island Sodor, and then wooden railway outside would be this little island, Little Sodor military base. It was complicated. And then also I started filming Sodor the movie, which was just based, a typical diesel versus steam apocalyptic movie. I don't know if I'm gonna finish that. I mean, I probably won't. But yeah, eventually I hope to do a movie. And it's just that, it's a lot of work. I mean, the NWR Origins has been a hell lot of work, and I'm surprised I got it going. But yeah, hopefully one day I will do a movie, and I mean, that would be a voice actor occasion. I just have to come up, with a really good story. There is a possibility that I may do a mockumentary type thing on, like, Diesel 10 or something. I mean, it wouldn't be like a full-length movie. It'd be like, an hour at the longest. I mean, it wouldn't be like Shed 17 or that dark, but it would kind of be like, that genre, documentary type thing. That's one thing I've considered. And I guess you could also consider, Search for Smudger to be a movie, but at the same time, it's only like 40 minutes, and so, yeah. So, yeah, I hope to make a movie one day, but not this year, I'll grant you that. But I'll let you know if I make solid plans. So yeah, and that special for 2015 that you may have read on the wiki, that's canceled. Sorry, but that was just too much work. I have to, polish the story a bit. Well, okay, I won't say I won't use the story, it's just that particular movie is canceled. I mean, I may use the story in another movie, but yeah. So hopefully, again, I hope to make a movie one day. Fingers crossed. Okay, next question. Let's see. What is the process of making an episode or video in general? Like, how long does it take? What video software do you use? Etc. Okay, so, first thing I do will obviously come up with an idea. It's pretty obvious. And then I write a script, usually on Google Drive. It's just, a generic movie script, like, I'll write narrator, blah, 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 and then Gordon, I'm a big fat engine, and, And after that, if I have voice actors, I'll send out their lines. And then, if not, so then I go into Trains. I have Trains 2010. I'm not sure if I'm gonna upgrade, because, I'm not sure if I'm gonna upgrade, because, I think 2010's the best one, because it has all the compatibility modes, and anyway, so I film in Trains afterwards. Usually the filming takes between, I'd say, 3 and 10 days. Hopefully, I mean, it may be more, it may be less, but it really depends on what it is like. And after I film, I usually, if I need any picture edits, like adding a face on an engine, I may do that, and then for editing, I edit in, I used to edit in Windows Movie Maker, but then I got, for episode 3 of NWR Origins, I got, Sony Movie Studio, which is, it's basically Sony Vegas, but the cheaper version. Like, it has the features, some of the features. It's a pretty useful tool. So yeah, I use Sony Movie Studio to edit, and often for audio, I'll record that in Audacity first, just because it's easier to edit, and then I used to just add all the music into Audacity, and I still kind of do that, but now I can also add in music directly into the Sony Movie Studio, which makes it a hell lot easier. So yeah, I'd say to make an episode start from finish, not including script writing, I'd say it'd take a week or two, between 1 and 3 weeks, hopefully. Yeah, with NWR Origins, I filmed most of the footage back in like August, or August through December. I mean, September through December, and then I, started editing in like November, and of course I haven't finished filming yet, obviously, but so yeah, I'd say between 1 and 3 weeks. That's how long it usually takes. The things that don't involve voice actors, those take a lot shorter than things that do involve voice actors. Like the engines of Sodor, those took a really long time, and the Railway series, well, actually, the Railway series, usually I just film a huge batch of film, and then I'd edit them all so I could, upload it every other day. That's what I usually do with those, and, so yeah, so I used Trains 2010, and, I used Sony Movie Studio to edit, and Audacity for audio stuff. So, yeah. Okay, next question. How do you make YouTube poops? Okay, I guess this ties into the last question. I used to use Windows Movie Maker, but in Audacity I would do all the sentence mixing and all that, but then, Sony Movie Studio is a lot nicer, so I still do like all the sentence mixing in Audacity because it's easier, but YouTube poops are generally done in, Sony Movie Studio. Those don't have scripts because they have ideas, but, it's YouTube poop. Definition is complete randomness. Oh, and speaking of YouTube poops, the Christmas one, it got blocked because of copyright infringement by the fascist regime of YouTube by Hit Entertainment. So normally I'd file a dispute, but the thing is, I didn't want to risk it being rejected and then losing access to features like not being able to upload videos more than 15 minutes, which I just can't have while I'm doing NWR Origins. So what I'll do is I'll either post on Dailymotion or upload it to Google Drive or something, and I'll post a link in a video. So don't worry, I'm not gonna just take it down. I'm not gonna surrender. I'm still fighting for it. Okay, next. What is your favorite food? Krispy Kreme donuts. Yeah, people actually were asking this. As far as like non-junk food, pasta, definitely. Yeah. And, also Chinese food. I love, Mexican food. That's all I can really say. What is your favorite movie? I guess this kind of relates back to what is, do you like other than Thomas? That's a difficult one. I mean, I always liked the last Harry Potter movie, Deathly Hallows Part 2. And, I love The Empire Strikes Back, or I like to call it Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And, I like Star Wars. And I do like the prequel. I don't love them, but, Phantom Menace was okay. Attack of the Clones was really bad, in my opinion. And then Revenge of the Sith was good. And, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, those are just classics. And then also another movie that's really inspiring to me is Forrest Gump. It's just such a well done movie, and how can you not love that character? And then also Lord of the Rings. I like The Hobbit I'd say my favorite's Return of the King. I like The Hobbit as well. I do agree they're not as good, but the second one was quite an enjoyment. The third one was a bit clunky, but they all have good in them. They're not like the Star Wars prequels. And see what else. That's a difficult one. Jurassic Park, Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock. So yeah, those are my favorite films. And if you want to see my opinion on Magic Railroad, and I have a review on it, so go check that out. Okay. So next question, what brought up the idea for Wallace and Adam and all these NWR Origins characters? So, this is another strange question that I didn't expect a lot of people to be asking, but it's interesting because Wallace has a bit of a backstory. Originally, he was supposed to be a coffee pots engine. This was before the adventure begins. This was back in last January, but I couldn't find a coffee pot model, so at the end I was crunched on time, so I just used a Railway Series Percy model, and So yeah, Wallace. That's why Wallace, is so sleepy, because if he was a coffee pot engine, he'd just be very old and so forth. And and then Adam. Oh yeah, and if I do the special edition of the episodes involving Wallace, I'll replace him using the Glynn model from Sodor Workshops, and then Adam, he was supposed to be Colin, from Wild Nor'Wester, but some of Wild Nor'Wester's models have this problem where you put them in Surveyor, and then when you go to driver mode, they just disappear. I mean, they still have the steam and all that, and you can hear their whistle, and they move, but they're just invisible. And I don't know how to fix that. So yeah, a lot of his models have that problem. So and it's frustrating because you can't delete that model because it disappears in Surveyor. So I have all these routes I now can't use because I have all these ghost engines blocking them. So yeah, I had to just use Adam, and I gave him a different personality. I just thought it would, and the reason you don't see him talk much is because I mean, he did originally, but I originally was just gonna cut Colin out, but then I decided, why not just replace him with Adam? And so I just added a fun personality. Yeah, I regret not putting him in more. I mean, again, in the special editions, if I make him, I'll definitely add more of him.